We need education. Now that's the message from the poultry sellers at the Kantamatu market here in Accra. They say they need education on how to detect poultry with avian influenza, which is currently the #1 concern of veterinary doctors in Ghana. The Ministry of Agric has imposed a ban on the movement of live poultry in the nation's capital. Officials expect the ban to help contain the spread of the disease. Let's now take a listen to John Toto, who happens to be the Executive Secretary of the National Poultry Farmers Association.
Once you have a bird flu, it's a national issue, and there must be some announcement that will assure farmers that once your farm is depopulated, you'll be compensated. We've been talking about compensation, and that has not come. And so if maybe somebody has smuggled some sick birds to the live market, then it is because we have not put the proper structures in place to ensure that we are transparent and open with the outbreaks that we may have in our farm.
So are you blaming government for this situation?
Well, I would say that government has not been proactive in this particular manner, because even if you talk with the experts at the veterinary services, they say they have not had a budget to take care of this avian influenza situation.
So finally, before you go, let me ask, what, in your estimation, what do you think the way forward will be? What do you think will be the ideal approach in dealing with this?
Well, we think that there is a need for us to meet immediately and then to look at how we can repair the damage that has been made. By the close of today, we would have had a meeting. In fact, the national chairman is on his way. He'll be touching down in Accra by 11, and then we'll see how to handle the issue.
We'll be bringing you much more on this ban on poultry. We've been speaking to a number of persons, and we'll be bringing that to you subsequently. But moving on now, and the Supreme Court has ordered the consolidation of 2 separate cases seeking the court's interpretation of constitutional provisions on the appointment of certain key public office holders. Now, the 2 cases concern the processes for appointing judges to the highest court in the country and the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Judges of the Supreme Court say the cases are so linked they are better assessed together.
Panel presided over by the Chief Justice, Georgina Theodora Wood, said the consolidation of all these writs will be in the interest of the judicial economy. Earlier, private legal practitioner and complainant Kwesi Danswe Champon prayed the court to consolidate his writ with the Ghana Bar Association summons, which is seeking to compel the president to fully comply with Article 144, Clause 2 and 3, which directs the president to appoint Supreme Court judges based on the advice of the Judicial Council. This was supported by counsel for the first complainant, Alex Afenyo-Markin, but the Chief Justice, Georgina Theodora Wood, directed the 2 lawyers to apply to the panel sitting on the GBA writ for the consolidation. The Chief Justice explained, as chairperson of the Judicial Council, she was an interested party in the GBA writ and thus could not sit on the writ for the consolidation. Lawyers for the complainants sided with the bench and resolved to consolidate their writs.
The purpose of judicial economy, the court has directed that we consolidate, the writs before the court, because you have the Ghana Bar Association, Richard Sky, who was the first to initiate the process, and we have another lawyer, Danso Achampon. So basically, it will help determine matters once and for all, and we think we are in agreement.
But the consolidation, will that in any way affect?
No, it will help. It will help in determining all the issues. It's proper for all of us, so that the court will not be spending time today on a matter and then the same matter on a different panel.
Meanwhile, the 2 plaintiffs drew the attention of the bench to the president's appointment of the new EC chair, which they deemed to be contemptuous.
If the president, while the case is pending, can appoint and even go further to swear her into office when this case is pending, I mean, what treatment can Atani give to the highest court of the land than this? Can't you tell them to wait?
But the Chief Justice directed the 2 lawyers to follow due process if they seek to raise any issues regarding contempt. Counsel for Richard Sky and private legal practitioner Kwesi Danswe Champong, stated they will make a formal application for contempt against the AG over the president's appointment of the new EC boss, even when a case on the issue was pending at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has adjourned the case without a fixed date, pursuant to the writ of consolidation expected to be filed by parties in the matter.
The local government ministry is pleading for more time to collect the necessary data before it can brief Parliament on the status of $600 million Accra sewage project. Deputy Local Government Minister Nee Lante Vanderpoy has been briefing the legislature on measures being taken to prevent a repeat of the recent fire and flood disasters in Accra. Parliamentary correspondent Emmanuel Lante joins us now over the telephone with more. So, Emmanuel, well, what really has the Deputy Minister been saying?
Well, I'll start by saying that he first began his speech by apologizing unconditionally to the members of the House for failure of him and his ministry attending to the House's call yesterday. He was giving an excuse that there were some other problems or other challenges that came their way, and that brought about their absence to the House. But coming to the substantive question, Lante was addressing the House on how to prevent, or the steps they have taken so far to prevent flooding in the major cities of Ghana, especially Accra. And then he was also responding to a question on the $600 million Accra sewage project that was approved to them in 2012. So he was saying that on the 600 million, he was saying that he was asked by Obi Amwa, MP for Grafin South, about the money, and he said that at this moment, he has no information on that. So he needed time to finish the House with this project, the outline of the money, how it's been used and how it's been spent, and how far the project has gone. And the Speaker went on by giving him up to 23rd of this month to finish the House with that particular information.
Emmanuel, what else has been going on in Parliament, or this happens to be the only thing in Parliament this morning?
Well, the Prime Minister was also in Parliament, and he's responding to questions by some members of Parliament on various electrification projects going on across the country. He's saying that although some of them are not on the grid or are not in the plan, there are plans to ensure that everybody is connected to the national grid. But he's saying that as a result of unavailability of funds, some of the projects have been put on hold. Others have also reached certain percentages of completion. So that's exactly what's happening here.
Finally, before you go, did the Prime Minister by any chance mention why the people of Ashanti region, particularly Kumasi, have been in darkness for over 72 hours?
Well, that question did not pop up. We went to the specific questions by the specific MPs who were asking specific questions from their constituencies. So that did not pop up.
Many thanks for your time, Emmanuel Lante. And Emmanuel Lante is our parliamentary correspondent. The Upper East is the region with the highest number of child marriages in Ghana, with the Talensi and Nabdam districts having the highest prevalence of child marriages. Now, to help put an end to this trend, a child protection officer with the United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, Ruby Koko Anane, is urging parents to keep their girl children in school till they become responsible adults. Now, she was speaking at the end of a Child Rights Festival held at Gorogo in the Talensi district to help educate parents and the community on the need to protect children against child marriages. Upper East correspondent Albert Sori reports.
In all, 10 basic schools from different communities within the Talensi district took part in the Child Rights Festival organized by AfriKids Ghana, a child rights-centered non-governmental organization that has been working to eliminate child marriages within 10 communities in the Talensi district through sensitization. The festival opened with a debate between St. Martin's Junior High School and Palugu Junior High School on the motion, educating the girl child is a waste of resources. St. Martin's JHS argued in favor of the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I hope you all agree with me that most educated girls don't have time to maintain their homes as mentioned above. Mr. Chairman, I hope my colleague girls will also agree with me that not having white-collar jobs does not mean we are housewives and therefore not important in the home. I think we should rather be proud of ourselves that the development and success of every family depends on the women.
Their counterparts from the Palugu JHS argued against the motion.
Chairman, educating the girl child is not and can never be a waste of resources. What do I ask is, educating the girl child can help eradicate social evils such as unemployment, dowry problems, and can go a long way to establish peace in the home. Mr. Chairman, consider the home that have a woman well educated as against one that is not. The truth is that the well educated one is able to manage their home well. They spend quality time with their children and husband as well. It is no reason that you see women who are well educated helping their husbands to give quality education to their children.
In the end, the Palugu JHS narrowly won the debate. Some of the pupils also shared their knowledge on child marriages with Joy News.
I think we should advise parents that force their children to go and marry that they should stop doing that, because if you allow your child to go and marry, your child will become early parenthood, and you yourself will not feel comfortable. Early child marriage is a bad thing because you marry early, your education will be dropped out. You will be dropped out from school.
The UNICEF Child Protection Officer, Ruby Koko Anane, argued why parents need to keep their girl children in school till they become responsible adults.
When the girl child is in school, and in fact, not only the girl child, when the boy child is also in school, 80% of the time they are protected. The minute they are out of school, parents think that they are at home, they are not doing anything. Let's marry them off. Another thing too that we should work around, the problem is not just about the girl. It's not just about the girl. All of us, including me, tend to think she's pregnant. She opened her legs. She's a bad girl. Who made the girl pregnant? The last time I checked, girls don't make themselves pregnant. The last time I checked, it is men, it is boys. We are all in it together. In the play, we saw the father and the mother has push factors, pushing the child into these things. It's about everybody.
An 8-month-old baby is dead in Abuja, a slum community in the central business district of Accra, after a fire outbreak in the area. Over 200 structures were destroyed by the fire, which started around 8 p.m. last night. Here's Deputy Public Relations Officer at the Ghana National Fire Service, Prince Billy Anaglate.
Was an 8-month baby that was actually burnt. We saw the body, and then I had the opportunity to talk to the father of the baby. That told us that yes, it was the mother of the baby who lit candle, and that has really caused the fire. But that is to say that we were concluding on what we were told. That is just an information. We will continue to investigate and really know if what we had was exactly what caused the fire.
But as far as we're concerned, now particularly when we've had some of these incidents being recorded in many of the slums, or some of the slums the last couple of days, so to speak, should we be worried, and why?
Yeah, we should be worried because those actually areas that you are mentioning, they are places that you look at the activities of the activities that goes in there. You look at the type of materials that the people use in constructing those dwelling places that they have, which is more of combustible material from the roofing even to the floor level. And then you see the congestion within those areas. All these factors are very good, factors that could always lead to fire outbreak. So if we allow them to live in those conditions and live in those environments, then always we should know that fire outbreaks will not be anything that anybody should doubt when they occur in those areas. So really, we should be concerned when some of these things happen, because they are not areas that when we try hard to educate them, they are able to implement the measures that we're giving them.
Let's get more on this from my colleague Latif Idris, who's live on the ground now. Latif, what's the situation now at the place? What's the very latest on this?
Yeah, the latest here is that just about some few minutes ago, an information van came around here, and the announcement was that nobody should rebuild here at the site where the fire incident happened last night. And already I can tell you, Mr. Hine, that some of the residents are disobeying that directive. As just an example is this public bath house behind me. They have already started rebuilding, defying orders from the AMA as it were. But Mr. Hine, residents here have some huge challenge, because now they are gathering, according to them, that demolition exercise is likely to take place here because of what happened here. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly will now have a very good excuse to come here and pull down some buildings. I have the chief of the area, Al Hassan, and he's going to tell us how they are feeling as at now. You're welcome to join us.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
What is your main concern right now?
Yeah, our main concern right now is Vanderboy. Vanderboy is our mayor, is our main concern, because there was a previous days, about 2 weeks ago, we've been hearing rumors that he will come here. He will come here, but some of us believe that we are not even on waterway, so that one might not happen. But just due to this very thing, or due to the announcement that they did this morning, in fact, there is a fear and panic among this very community here, the residents here.
And I can see some people already parking out.
Yeah, you can see that people are parking their things. They are leaving. Because from the announcement that they had, they just believe it, because people are making rumors against that thing. And what I even want to appeal even to that mayor is that this very place is not a waterway. Since 1995, we've never experienced any flooding in this very place. But the announcement that we heard now, in fact, we are not okay.
All right. So, Tony, you heard from the chief of the area. He is Al Hassan, the chief of Abuja here, where the incident happened last night. And what is going around here is that AMA is likely to come here with its machines to pull down buildings in this area as a result of, what happened last evening.
Latif, let me ask, what's the sense you get from what these residents are telling you? Is it that they suspect that this thing could have possibly been orchestrated by the AMA just to kick them out?
No, that is not what they are saying. But, they are not blaming anybody for what happened last night. What they are saying is that now the AMA has a very good excuse to come here and demolish their structures. They've been hearing it for the past 2 weeks that from Sodom and Gomorrah, the next point of, demolition would be here at Abuja. And now we hear that demolition is going on at Abraka. So already the fear is that next stop for AMA for demolition exercise is here. And now that this incident has happened, now the AMA has a very good excuse to come here and pull down more structures. And that is the fear now. And I can tell you that some of them are already leaving this area. Just some few minutes ago, I saw about 3 people carrying their luggage, and they are
Latif, let me ask finally before you go, have you by any chance seen the Accra mayor?
Yeah, that's the report we get, that the AMA boss will be coming here to address the people.
All right.
And so, as we speak now, they are on guard, waiting for the mayor to come. Right. And the announcement going around is that if and when he comes, they should remain calm and listen to what he has to say, and nobody should be hostile towards the mayor.
All right, many thanks for your time, Latif Idris. Latif Idris is our correspondent on that particular beat. You're still watching News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. We'll return shortly with some more. Don't go away. Thank you for staying on. Now, the Teachers and Education Workers Union, TEU, is warning government to brace itself for a nationwide strike. President of the association, Peter Lumo, says the strike could begin at the end of August. Now, that is if government fails to open fresh negotiations on their conditions of service. Let's now speak with our correspondent Rafiq Salam to get more details from him on this particular issue. So Rafiq Salam joins us now over the phone. Rafiq, tell us exactly what these people are seeking to achieve with this.
They had their regional conference in the Upper West region here, and so the national chairman of the association, in the person of Peter Lumu, revealed or hinted that the TEU, Teachers and Education Union, are intending to go on strike by the close of August if government fails to work on their grievances. What are they talking in here? They are talking about their policies of service, talking about Category 3 and Category 2. And that's the reason why they are saying that government is still dialogue with them. According to Peter Lumo, he says that they were supposed to go to a negotiating table with the government in June, and that has not taken place. And so he's saying that government continues to save the goalposts, and they are now putting this in July. And so it's sounded a warning to government that if they fail to negotiate with them by the close of August, they are going to go on a nationwide strike in the country.
Has there been any response from government on this?
No, there haven't been any responses because it's the Congress is expected to end in there.
Okay. All right. Rafiq Salam, thank you very much for your time. That was Rafiq Salam, Upper West Regional Correspondent with that, and it has to do with members of TEU who are threatening to go on a nationwide strike in August due to government's failure to renegotiate their conditions of service. We can move on and do some other stories now. And the residents of Ghana's second largest city, Kumasi, have been plunged into darkness for the past few days. Now, initially, residents thought it was just a bad patch in the ongoing load shedding exercise. But after 72 hours without power, it became apparent that there was a big problem. Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana told a reporter that their systems have collapsed 3 times in the past 4 days. We'll be speaking to the ECG pretty shortly, but let's now go onto the phone lines and speak to Mohammed Nuruddin, who is a correspondent on this particular beat. We'll be speaking to him pretty shortly. It has to do with the city of Kumasi in the Ashanti region that has been plunged into darkness. I mean, for more than 72 hours, we're told they do not have electricity. We'll bring you much more on this subsequently. We're taking a quick break here on News Today. We'll be back with some more. Tax evasion, misrepresentation, and international education all converge in a scandal involving the American International School, which is located here in Accra. Now, a week ago, a high court ruled that the controlling party at the school, AIS in East Legon, to refund nearly $800,000 to the school. The controlling party is the Network of International Christian Schools based in Tennessee, USA. The profit-making school is registered as a charity in Ghana, and for the judge, that amounted to fraud. Samuel Dona has been following this story and joins us now in studio to tell us much more about this. So, Sami, can you tell us, just give us a brief background to this particular story?
Okay, well, like you said, I'm not a lawyer, so let me just try and see what I can do. And what happened was that there was one of the founding members of the school, in the name of Laurie Corum, who thought that because the school is supposed to be a charity, it's binding on them to whatever money they raise. Most of it is supposed to be used to develop the school here, okay? And one other reason why she decided that because NICS, they established the school. They are the founding. They are sort of like the main owners of the school, but they used her to actually establish the school here. And she thought too much money was going. And there are 2 ways in which we were taking money. NICS was rendering some service to the school here in Ghana. And so they were being paid for that. So that one, they were presenting invoices and things like that. But then once you are doing some job for the school and you are being paid, you are supposed to pay tax on them because it's sort of like you are being paid for work done. But then the other side, which was a bit of a bother to the court, why the court thought that there was a scandal, is whatever money the school was making, profit, because the school is registered as a non-profit school. Yeah. So whatever they make, they're supposed to invest here. But the profit that they were making, NICS was also getting 6% of that. And that one, they were not presenting any kind of invoice for that. So it's just profit that they were just moving out of this country. And for that to do, they were not paying tax. So the court thought that, no, this is a scandal. And they presented something like an MOU that they were supposed to have signed with IAS, and the court realized that MOU is forged because it never existed. It never existed before they went to court. So it was something like they forged it and brought it to the court and came to present. And that's what the judge did. The judge said that document is a scam and a forgery. So it looks like a grand kind of scheme. So they even said that the school has been set up as a cloak to just siphon money from Ghana. So
that's how the judge described it.
Is saying, and I cannot say anything outside what the judge says, because I need to be careful. So that's what the judge said. The judge used very strong words to describe this kind of activity and to describe even the leader of the school, who is supposed to be a Christian leader. So the judge thought that, his posture in court trying to present Christianity in a way, the judge said that was just a fake kind of posture, just to deceive the court. So basically, that's what happened. So they have been asked to return that money.
Exactly, I was coming to that. They were asked to refund some $800,000.
Almost $800,000, which they took over a period of from 2006 till now. So they have been asked to refund that money.
Do we know whether or not they've started making these payments?
American Embassy have been asked to facilitate the refund, and then Ghana Revenue Authority has also been asked to go and do an audit. This time they are going to do an audit on the legitimate payments that was made. That's the service that they provided, that they were paid. So they are going to do an audit of it to determine the tax component. But the $800,000 is something that they took away from the profits of the school, which they were not supposed to. So these are two different issues. And then the other issue was the forgery. But then something interesting happened in the court, which is that the judge said that they should still keep being the owners of the school, which is what the plaintiff sought to be part owner of the school, because she was the one used to establish the school. But the judge says no, because everything the plaintiff did, the judge concluded that they did it in the name of NICS. Okay. So he saw them as like together. So the school should still be in the hands of NICS. So so the school is still in their hands, but the fact that they have to bring back the money and they need to be audited to make sure that they pay tax to this country. And the judge said something very interesting, that it's about time Registrar General begin to monitor people, institutions that are registered as NGOs and as charities, but they are actually making money and siphoning so much money. My brother, $800,000 is not small money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Right. So, thank you very much for your time. That was Samuel Dona, my colleague right here at the Multimedia Group. We're taking a break here. When we come back, we have some business stories for you. Don't go away.
Welcome to the business segment. My name is Francisca Kakra Forsen. Ghana's public debt has risen from 88 billion in March this year to 89 billion cedis as of May. This is seen as an improvement in government's effort to control the public debt. The Bank of Ghana put out the figures yesterday. George Rafe has more.
The Bank of Ghana they've been meeting over the past from Monday to today to assess the performance of the economy. And for us, when we got the data, we were looking at what is government's position when it comes to its debts and revenue. Now, interesting thing was that as of May this year, it has hit 89 billion Ghana cedis. But an interesting thing is that when you compare the numbers, that is the rate of increment, to that of from December to March this year, it is minimal. And for a lot of people, this is good news, because if you look at from December to March this year, it went up by 12 billion Ghana cedis. However, from March to May this year, it's gone up by just about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. And for a lot of people, it is interesting. Indeed, it suggests that efforts by government to control its rising debts is actually working. And for me, that is the exciting bit about it. Again, when you go through the report, it also shows that government the Bank of Ghana is doing a lot to try and squeeze the amount of Ghana cedis in circulation. So in terms of money supply and liquidity, there's been some shortfall. And again, it emphasized the point that the Bank of Ghana's policy aimed at checking inflation and the rising cedi is actually getting a lot of results. Again, when you look at commercial banks in terms of deposits, reserves, and even non-performing loans, there's a lot also to be excited about. So trying to look at the Bank of Ghana's whole assessment of the economy, I think that for them, everything is on track, and it looks like efforts to try and stabilize the economy is actually working. Also, it's interesting that when you look at the Bank of Ghana's reserves, it has decreased marginally from $4.8 billion to $4.5 billion over the 3-month period. Now, it's interesting because we thought the Bank of Ghana was pumping a lot of dollars into the system. But it looks like in terms of drop, it is just about $300 million. Interesting developments there today, which will be pushing the governor today to get more answers about the state of our reserves as a country, and also the fact that were they really pumping $20 million into the economy, because some people are doubting, they don't believe it, they don't think that it is true.
We are still talking about the Bank of Ghana because it has announced the approval of 2 new regulatory guidelines. Now, mobile money operators will require a license to become dedicated e-money issuers and will be directly under the supervision of the Bank of Ghana. The new guidelines are expected to increase the interest of commercial banks in providing mobile money services. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kofi Wampa, says the economy is on the path of recovery with the recent appreciation of the cedi against the US dollar. He was addressing the media, and my colleague Etanam Say joins me from there. Etanam, give us details of the reasons for this belief by the governor.
All right, Kemini. So, according to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kofi Wampa, the reasons underlining this decision to maintain the policy rates is because of the inflation. Inflation moved in March from 16.7%. and in May it's at 16.9%. And other reasons also have to do with the tight monetary policy stance, according to them, continuing fiscal consolidation, and then the recent recovery of the cedi. That's why it's still maintained the way it is. But according to the Bank of Ghana, it will continue to monitor developments in the economy and take appropriate actions as to whether to reduce it or to increase it. And so he also spoke about the recovery of the currency and further measures they are putting in place to ensure that the cedi further appreciates, which will also affect the policy rate coming.
Okay, that's my colleague Etanam. Saying Etanam, I'm Francisca, not Kemini, but thank you very much. Now, we need education. That's the message from live poultry sellers at the Kantamanto market here in Accra. They say they need education on how to detect poultry with avian influenza, which is currently the #1 concern of veterinary doctors in Ghana. The Ministry of Agric has imposed a ban on the movement of live poultry in the national capital. Officials expect the ban to help contain the spread of the disease, which was first detected in Accra and Obuasi. Hannah Odame has been speaking to some live poultry sellers here in Accra.
All forms of poultry, geese, duck, turkey and fowls have been banned from moving from one place to the other by the Ministry of Agric to prevent the spread of the avian influenza. We are finding out from the traders and farmers of poultry whether they know about this ban and if they are complying. Currently, we are at the Kantamanto poultry market.
They should explain why they are banning, because not all poultry farmers have been affected. I think they shouldn't ban the sale and movement. If the surveillance team comes here, I will ask them to check each poultry if it has been affected. I will also ask them to find a permanent solution to this bird flu. Bird flu has been an old age problem. I think it does not affect humans because I have never seen bird flu after selling poultry for so long. I go for lots of poultry from all parts of the country to sell, and none of the farms have recorded bird flu. I've not heard of the ban. If they say they will ban it, I will keep selling until farmers also stop selling to me, because this is business and this is what I do for a living.
That's it for business with me, Francisca Kakra-Forson. Sports is next with Benedict Owusu. Please stay.
Commercial break. My name is Benedict Owusu, and we'll continue with sports here on News Today. In our very first story, a former management member of Accra Heart of Oak, Aziz Haruna Futa, wants general manager Gerald Ankra fired from the club. Now, veteran coach Herbert Addo has been shown the exit at the club following their current poor chain of results in all competition on the local front. And Aziz, who consistently called for Herbert Addo's exit, says one part of the problem has been solved and wants Gerald to follow.
He must be sacked. He also has to be sacked. He must be sacked immediately. The board chairman, his position as the executive chairman is not helping the club. We need a chief executive that has powers, that can form his own management. You get me? They can go and bring Mourinho, they can go and bring whatever coach, but still, if they didn't solve this thing, House of Oak problem will be the same. You cannot run a club that you don't even have a time to go and visit the boys at the training ground and see how they are faring. Who tell them that? The current management. Who tell them that running House of Oak is only in the office? Who tell them that thing?
So that was a former management member of Accra Heart of Oak, Haruna Futa, speaking there. Well, we still stay with Accra Heart of Oak, and it looks like more trouble is brewing for the Heart of Oak team, as the Ghana Football Association has temporarily banned them from using the Accra Stadium for their home game as their venue with immediate effect. Now, the decision was taken due to the unfortunate incident when supporters of the team threw objects at the match officials during their match day 21 game at the against Sekondi Azakes on July 5 at the Accra Stadium. Now, the Premier League board will therefore determine the venue for the club's subsequent home matches. But information reaching Joy Sports indicates that the Heart of Oak might play their game against the Midday SC at the Cape Coast Stadium. That's the Robert Mensah Sports Stadium in Cape Coast. Well, away from Accra Heart of Oak, Ghana's Black Queens will leave town for Yaoundé, that's Cameroon, later today ahead of their 2016 Olympic Games qualifier against Cameroon on Saturday. Now, the team currently going through departure formalities at the Kotoka International Airport have been preparing at the Ghanaman Soccer of Excellence in Pram for some time now. On Monday, they beat National Women's League club Blessed Ladies 5-2 in a friendly in Kaso. Ahead of the team's management committee, that's Madame Linia Adi, tells Joy Sports they are ready to face Cameroon.
We are well prepared, except that we wanted to go out for camping, but due to our limited resources, we had to cancel that one. But the team is well prepared, and I don't think we are just going to play ordinarily. We are very optimistic. Say that football has no formula. The only formula is when you are empowered and you know that you can be able to do something. These girls have been empowered. They are highly motivated. We are expecting that something good will come out. We only want to go and have a good result in Cameroon.
Linia Adi is head of the Black Queens Management Committee, speaking there to Joy Sports. Well, we can do some more here, and the Nigerian Football Federation have confirmed Sunday Olise will replace Stephen Keshi as the country's new coach and will present him to the media later today. Now, NFF, that's the Nigerian Football Federation President Amaju Petnik, as well as other members of the NFF Executive Committee and Management, will preside over Olise's presentation at the Media Center of the Abuja National Stadium from 10 a.m. local time. Now, on Tuesday evening, that's last night, Olise and his assistants had a robust 90-minute meeting with the NFF Technical and Development Committee headed by Felix Anyasi Agu, and where he unfolded his plans for the Super Eagles. After the meeting, a meeting of the NFF Executive Committee received the report of the Technical and Development Committee and adopted the recommendation to hire Olise as a new Super Eagles coach. And on that note, we end sports with me, Benedict Owusu. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of the program.
Look again at our headlines. Local government ministry has pleaded for time to collate necessary data before it can brief Parliament on the status of a $600 million Accra sewage project. City authorities have warned residents of Abuja in Accra to desist from reconstructing their structures following a fire outbreak in the area last night. And Ghana's debt stock has risen to 89 billion cedis. Well, that's it for the news. For more news, do want to log on to myjournline.com. My name is Kobna Chencha Inibuati. Enjoy the rest of our broadcast.